Welcome in to Moving the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm Kevin Thomas alongside Jerel Hendricks. Got a great interview lineup today. A very special guest, the new head coach of the Walhalla Razorbacks, Chris Stone. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate your time. We appreciate your time. We really do. This you guys first time tuning in, check us out. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. at Movin Chains. Our website, movinchains.com, movinchains.com. Our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, etc. Coach Stone was hired in February. He's been the OC at Malden and had been on staff for the past 4 seasons in total. Prior to that, he coached at Easley. Coach, let's just start there. What's it been like kind of taking over as the head man after being an assistant for all these years?
The years that I spent at Easley and at Malden, I've been under some awesome head coaches and been around some great guys that I've been able to learn a lot from. It's just fun. It's something that I've felt ready for the last couple of years. And I really am having a blast. There's definitely a certain element to it that I've been a lot busier. I seem to be putting together a puzzle that I may never finish. It seems like a never-ending something to do. But I'm having a blast with it.
All right, Coach, let's get this background knocked out. Tell us a little bit about your coaching career and how you got started in it.
Oh man. Well, y'all said it. My coaching career has been pretty quick. It was 3 years at Easley and 4 years at Malden. That's all at the varsity level. I've jumped into a wide receiver job at Easley. Was the OC the last 2 years there. And then at Malden, kind of did a little bit of everything. I coached. I was an offensive coordinator 2 different times. Coached outside linebackers the first year I got over there, and I also coached DBs 1 year. And how I got into it, man, it's my passion. It's always been my passion. I felt like I played football my whole life. I walked on at Clemson. Was there for 2 years, and then I played my last years at Furman University. And I felt like I don't know, I was just being called to do some different stuff. Felt like I needed some perspective. And so after college, I went and actually went and hiked the Appalachian Trail. So I lived in the woods for 5 months. And then I went into banking. And I had a 6-year career with Wachovia, Wells Fargo. And kind of my last, when I actually quit Wells Fargo back in 2016, and I was about to take a job with another financial institution, and was thinking about doing coaching on the side. And I kept talking to people, and the more people I talked to, the more I just felt like it was being revealed to me that my calling was just to drop the financial stuff, quit worrying about making millions of dollars, and go do what I've called to do, which is being around young people and helping them, through this stage of life. And so I just jumped in head first. That first year at Easley, I actually subbed. I was a substitute teacher that first year, and then I went through the PACE program after that, which kind of helps you get certified as you teach. And that's, believe it or not, a short version.
Well, that's a heck of a story, man. You don't see many people in the financial industry going back into coaching, so that's really cool to hear. You mentioned you've only had a couple jobs. You've only been, a coach for, I guess, 7 or 8 years now. Being, a younger coach, did that make it tougher to maybe find some staff for you at Walhalla? Because you maybe don't have as many connections. And how is that staff shaping up for you?
I've made some really good connections through the years. Mm-hmm. That's the name of the game for me. I'm very relational. I can't survive without people. So I wouldn't say that, short career, stopped me from being able to find people. What might have stopped me is that a lot of the people I know are in the Greenville area. Even a lot of the guys that I coached with at Easley have kind of moved to different places. And man, that's a big move. It's been a big move for me and my family to move out to Walhalla. It's up there. And so that's probably been the hardest part. Not that Walhalla, everybody, I love it out there. Like it's I think it's a destination spot, man. When I worked at Easley, we lived in Central, And we used to go to Walhalla on the weekends and go hiking and go antique shopping. And man, Walhalla is an awesome place, but just for a lot of the guys that I know, a lot of them are in a similar stage of life as I am, where they've got kids that are in school. And you start talking about uprooting kids and things like that. I would say that has been more of a challenge in trying to get guys to come out there with me. But man, I've been through, God's brought me through a lot harder things than hiring a staff. And so that piece came over me one day when I was driving out to Walhalla. I was like, man, I'm not worrying about this. This is gonna get taken care of, and it has. I'm not done, but I've got some really good guys that are coming along with me right now, so I'm excited.
Awesome. Like many head coaches, you've coached on both sides of the ball. Most recently, as we stated, as offensive coordinator. Are you going to assume the play calling duties, as the head coach? You looking to more be in that CEO type role? And then what kinds of schemes are the Razorbacks going to run in 2023?
Well, I want to tell you all of our sauce, but I will. Right now, the plan is for me to take on more of a CEO role. I guess I don't think of myself as a CEO, but I think I have an OC and I have a DC, and I like plans. That's why I hired him. Our offensive coordinator matches up very closely with what I've done, and so he understands that it'll be something that me and him will kind of work on together. And I will be, participating in the play calling for sure. This will be mine and his first year working together. His name's Blake Dyer. He's coming from Pickens. He ran Pickens offense back in 2020 when Chad Smith went crazy and went to the spread for a year. So he's a spread guy. Yeah, it'll be similar to a lot of the stuff that I've run at Malden, stuff that I've run at Easley, that I've evolved through the years. Me and him are still getting to, working through stuff to see how my style is going to mesh up with his style. So some of that's still a work in progress, to be honest with you. But we'll be, as far as offense goes, we'll be spread. But make no bones about it. A big thing. My previous players can tell you, especially from this last year, like, we're going to be tough. We're going to have a lot of fun, but we're going to be tough. We're going to challenge ourselves, and we're going to embrace hard stuff. And that's going to make us be tough competitors that, we're going to need to establish a run and win at the line of scrimmage. And so I don't want anybody to think we're going to go out there and just kind of patty cake around, but yeah, we'll be running the spread. Now, as far as on defense goes, my defense, we're not coming from Pickens as well. Jonathan Stone, no relation, and he was the defensive coordinator at Pickens last year, and basically be looking at running kind of a new style of defense that you might have seen Clemson run a little bit lately. Iowa State has been really well known for running this it's not a stack, kind of a 3-3-5, funky little look with an extra safety.
Sure.
But which we honestly, like, before they even started doing that, we kind of ran some of that when I was in college. We were running a 4-2-5. And it had similar looks at times, but anyways, yeah, we just we're gonna be tough. We're gonna push our kids. We keep trying to tell our kids the things that we're gonna keep that we're gonna keep harping on them is, embrace the hard, and we want to go out there and we want to be a hard-nosed team. We want teams to remember when they played Walhalla.
So not that traditional, like TCU, West Virginia style 3-3-5. You're going to do something a little funky there.
It's going to be a little funkier. Like I said, if you go check out Iowa State, I don't know how much y'all looked at that stuff, but that Clemson's run a little bit of it with Coach Goodwin. what he did last year. I think a few teams have kind of looked at it as options, and but it'll be the main thing that we'll be running out of.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I know we were talking off air. You know, you're a Greenville County guy. Went to Eastside High School, played for a legend there. Obviously, played collegiately at Clemson and Furman. Now have been at Easley and Malden. Who are maybe some coaches that you've crossed paths with that have been kind of influences on you, or maybe you model your kind of your style after?
Model my style after. I think I just pick stuff from guys. John Wyndham, who I worked with at Easley, he had been the defensive coordinator at he was my head coach at Easley. He'd been the defensive coordinator at Gardner Webb. Furman, had been a head coach at Division III for 11 years, I think. And his football mind is amazing. He taught me so much about the game. You think, first of all the fans and parents think they know a lot, right? They know a little bit here and there. But even having played in high school and before that, and then into college, the Division I level on two different schools, I thought I knew a lot about football. There's a difference between, playing it and coaching it. And Coach Wyndham taught me just a ton about the X's and O's of the game. And then got to Malden. Coach Cab hired me over there, who's over at Chapman, and just his energy and his commitment to the guys and the way he loved the guys is something that I've always been drawn to. I still don't think me and Coach Cab are done. I think at some point in time we'll work together again somewhere down the road. He was just I just love the way he dealt with the guys. And then even Coach Smith these last couple of years, Coach Neesmith's just structure and organization and his desire to a big thing that he helped me learn was how important the little details are. Down to how we were organizing our lockers and making sure that our guys never got away with having a toe on the line, or not touching the line. We really, really harped on those details with them. And I think that's going to make those guys better men at the end of the day. And so to see that put into play was really good. So those three guys as head coaches have been guys that have been really influential for me. As far as I read, I try to read a book here and there, and I've read every single book that Bobby Bowden has had his hands in. Both my parents graduated from Florida State, so I actually grew up a Florida State fan. Clemson people probably don't like to hear that, but
did I make a facial expression? Is that what it was?
What's that?
Did I make a facial expression? Is that what
it was? But when I went to Clemson, I was all. But I grew up a Florida State fan and always idolized Bobby Bowden and the way he ran his program, and just really just about the type of man he was. So it was really cool to go to Clemson and play for Tommy Bowden, and get to kind of see that lived out through Bobby's son. And anyways, that's a guy I've always really looked up to and tried to emulate in a lot of ways as well.
Yeah, Bobby Bowden.
And just thinking about guys I played for, you mentioned playing for Coach Carlisle. He's the winningest coach in Greenville County, and guy that I still talk to this day. And I still think about the way he handled things. I think about Scott Irwin, that's the baseball coach at Eastside. He was my baseball coach. Think about the way he dealt with us. There's a lot of people that influence me that run through my mind decisions, that different situations pop in my mind. How would that guy handle this? So
that's awesome to hear. Now, you guys, I know you haven't been over there long. We caught you early in these interviews, but the Razorbacks had a great season last year. What kind of team do you guys have in back for 2023, and who are some special players that we should look out for?
Yeah, I think we have a good core group of guys coming back. It is for me to say a lot about them right now because I'm still getting to know them. I'm still learning their names and faces, and They obviously a big part of the last couple of years is in their quarterback, Bryce Payne. I think he passed for over 2,000 yards the last 2 seasons. And I think I froze up. But and we'll be losing him. But Tanner Lowry is a guy that has played safety and wide receiver, and has always been a quarterback as well. Big kid, 6'4", athletic. Like I said, played receiver and safety, and we've also got a really athletic JV quarterback coming up that could help us as well. And we've got some. Oh man, looking at. Can y'all still hear me?
We got your audio. Yep.
Okay. All right. As long as you got my audio, I guess we're good. But we've got some really big guys on the line coming back, and we're still trying to kind of figure out the pieces as well. Talking about that defense that we're going to run, I think Silas Parrish is a kid that is going to wreak havoc for us. He's going to be a big key to what we want to do with that style of defense we're going to play. He's a safety. I think he had like 130 tackles last year or something like that. And I wouldn't be surprised the way we want to use him if he doesn't have more this year. It's a kid we expect to be all over the field. A few different receivers that I think could be impact guys for us. Chris Oglesby, Hendricks Frias, Drake Easton, and I'm probably leaving some off too, but there's definitely some really, really strong talent returning. And I've told them, I really respect what they've done the last 7 years at Walhalla. I'm not trying to come in here and blow it up and do everything, completely different. I just want to raise the bar a little bit. I want to get them out of that mindset that they had a great year because they made the playoffs. Even though that might have been a great year for Walhalla 7 years ago, now we got to raise it up a little bit, and we want to take it to let's win a playoff game, and then once we do that, we'll set another goal.
Well, Coach, obviously we're here now, kind of late March. We're talking to you. Is that spring schedule finalized for you guys? And are you going to have a spring game? And also with the new offense coming over with you guys, any 7-on-7s you got scheduled for the summer?
Yeah, we've all that stuff set. We got workouts I know a lot of teams got their football class, and that kind of, with me being in Greenville County and not being able to be over in Walhalla, we're not able to maintain that class right now. So we're going Monday, Tuesday, Thursday after school, and just trying to do the best we can with the city we got. So we'll be doing that. We've been doing that. I just got back tonight from doing that. And then we'll do that in April, and then in May we're going to hit spring practice just like everybody else does. We'll get in all our 13 days. We'll have our spring game on May 19th, and then in the summer I'm still working on finalizing a few things, but we're going to go to UGA. We're going to go to Pendleton. Pendleton's got a 7-on-7 they've got set up. Trying to figure out a way that we could raise enough money to go to the FCA camp at Presbyterian and do their 7-on-7. But also looking at a couple others, potentially going to Burns, potentially doing North Greenvilles, just depending on how what all we do. But yeah, I want to try to do 4 or 5, just to kind of sharpen us up, keep that competitive edge. And but when we get into July, we want to start focusing on real football.
Get your head in the game with Founders Federal Credit Union. See how Founders membership could elevate your financial game. Train your financial skills with our wide array of financial tools and services. Visit RelaxJoinFounders.com today to see if you qualify for membership. Relax with Founders Federal Credit Union.
All right, Coach, I think we got all the good stuff out of the way. So now we move on to the easy, shenanigan type questions.
Oh, boy.
First one we got to do, I'm a foodie, so I always have to ask every coach. I'm going to let you off the hook because you haven't been over Walhalla, Coney County area yet, but I need some of your favorite places in the Greenville area.
Oh, man. Well, I'll give you Walhalla first.
Oh, okay. Well, then bring it on.
Yeah, man. The Walhalla Steakhouse Cafeteria.
Okay.
If you haven't eaten there, you haven't lived.
Oh.
They got the good fried chicken, right?
Yes.
I've been there when I went to Clemson. I remember going, yeah.
Oh, man. We used to go out there when we lived in Central.
Okay.
So, I mean, this isn't new for me. Now, I did try Steph's Steaks the other night in downtown Walhalla. Okay. And I've done the Carolina Pizza Company as well. I hope I'm getting those names right. I think I am. Okay. But all of them were good. Mountain Mocha. Got me some coffee there the other day. So there's some Walhalla spots for you right there on the main strip.
I'm in the Clemson area, so I'm right there. So I got all these written down. So I'm gonna be heading up there to go check them all out.
Dude, Walhalla Steakhouse Cafeteria, like you haven't tried that before?
I have not.
Dude, come on, man. You need to go out there tomorrow.
All right.
Put it on the list, Jerel. Put it on the list.
It's on the list. It's all written down right now.
So, Coach, we talked about it earlier. You played at Clemson and Furman. I know you still follow the Paladins a little bit. How much fun was that basketball run this year for those guys?
Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness. Man, it couldn't have happened to a better group of guys. It couldn't have happened to a better coach. One of the kids that I coached at Easley when I was coaching baseball was a guy named Rhett Lister. He plays on that team, on the Furman basketball team. His dad was the basketball coach at Eastside when I was there, and now is the head basketball coach at North Greenville. I went to the SoCon championship game in Asheville.
Nice.
And watched them win that game. And after such a heartbreaking loss last year at the buzzer, to see them win that game, and I stayed after and went down on the court and got to put my arms around Rhett's neck and saw his mom and his dad. And, I was just, man, such a cool moment just to see them win the SoCon championship. And then we get into that first round game, and I guess this is being recorded, but I got it on in class. And I'm watching it with my kids, and I'm getting upset, and one of my students says, "Coach Stone, it's just Furman, man. Chill out." I said, "Whoa, man. You ain't watched Furman in the last few years." And so then I actually headed out to Walhalla, and so I listened to the second half on the radio. Man, when they hit that buzzer beater right as I pulled into the parking lot, and I was going crazy. So anyways, that was probably more than what you asked for, but
no, that's awesome.
It was so cool to see those guys do well. Slauson and Bothwell, their two top players, could have easily left last year and decided to come back, and to see that in today's game, I mean, it's more than just being a Furman fan. For me, watching go watch any of Coach Ritchie's post-game pressers, any presser, that guy is preaching in every single one. It's just he's teaching those guys all the right stuff, and I can't believe that he's coming back. That just talks so much more to the man he is and the way that he understands life, because I know he could have got a bunch of money.
Well, it's just so awesome for that program, because even back with Coach Medved, they had some really good teams. Yeah. Couldn't ever quite get into that level. They beat Villanova that one time. They've had some deep runs in the SoCon tournament. Last year, you mentioned losing on the heartbreaker there. But Coach Ritchie's done a great job there. I mean, and that whole athletic department, with Jason over there, has done a great job. So I'm happy to see it happen to the Paladins for sure.
Absolutely. Go Dens.
Yeah, and I don't know how Greenville County Schools has changed. I'm probably going to tell my age, but I remember we'd have the TVs rolled in, or the TV in the classroom for the ACC tournaments back in the day. So I hope these administrators don't forget about that stuff. So
well, and to be fair, I play I have a unit that I actually teach with my kids where we play a board game. And so they were playing their game. They were doing their assignment. I just had it on in the background.
Sounds good.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, last question here for you, Coach. I know this might be a tough one because you hadn't really got set up yet in Walhalla, but do you have any maybe personal or team goals ready for the Razorbacks for 2023?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think for us, like, we're looking to win a playoff game. You know, not just make the playoffs, but we're looking to win a playoff game. That's what I've told these guys. But I think even before, you know, that's a very specific, you know, win type goal. You know, before we even do that, I just want these kids to embrace what we're doing, and I want us to get to the point where, you know, we're establishing our culture is starting to lay the groundwork for the guys to start pushing the culture. You know, big thing that I live by. I was halfway living by it before I stole a couple of letters from Coach Elliott, Tony Elliott, but I went ahead and went full copycat on him. But heart, humility, effort, attitude, respect, and toughness. Like, that's everything we do, everything we talk about. There's going to be some catchphrases and some things that they hear from us over and over and over again, but it's all going to stem from playing with our heart, playing together, serving the guys' hearts, and not just their talents. And so I want them to really embrace what we're trying to do and understand that it's more than just the game of football. Like, we want to win, and I want to see these guys win. Like I said, it was so cool to see Rhett Lister, you know, on that court after Furman wins that champ, because I was so excited that he got to experience that moment. You know, I want that for our guys. I want them to experience winning. And I want these guys at Walhalla to start to experience, like, you know, we don't have to play second fiddle to anybody. And so, you know, I want them first to understand how we're going to do it. And so I'm just really excited to see how our relationships build through the season. So just establishing the culture, man, that's really the first goal.
Well, this has been great. Definitely want all of our listeners to go check out Coach Stone and the Walhalla program on Twitter and Facebook and all social pages. They do a great job of posting updates about their athletes and their schedules, all that stuff. Go check them out on there. Like I mentioned, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Movin Chains, our new website, movinchains.com, our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Movin the Chains brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Jerel, anything else for Coach Stone tonight?
Always with these interviews, want to just wish you congratulations for, you know, getting that position, that opportunity. Obviously, you put in the work and people noticed it. So congratulations to you. Looking forward to, you know, what Walhalla is going to do next season. They've really, you know, laid that foundation. And like you said, just raising the bar and taking that next step. And that community is special. We've had some really great support from that community to our program. So we definitely like to follow along with them and wish you guys well as you go into the 2023 season.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Coach, we really appreciate it. Look forward to stopping by a practice or a game next year and getting to shake your hand and meet you in person. But best of luck this year.
Yeah, guys, come on by anytime.